Remarkable Wrestling. I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Better Than the Best was a good, very good debut show for Remarkable Wrestling, which took place at the NYWC Sportatorium. The show kicks off with a seven-way scramble match to determine who would be the 30th entrant in the Remarkable Rumble later in the show, as we saw the Russian Crush, Natalia Markova, Nolo defeat Nolo Kitano, Adonis Stone, Smiley, Kano, or is it Kono, Capuchia, Tristan Ty, and Casey Lennox to win the match, and Natalia Markova, would be entering last in the Remarkable Rumble later in the show. This was a very good opening of a show here. Next match was one of the quarterfinal matches for the tournament to crown the first ever Remarkable Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, as we saw Myron Reed defeat Desmond Cole. Very good match out of these two men. After the match, Reed took the microphone and said that Desmond Cole was the future, and after his performance in that match, not hard to understand why he said that. But Myron Reed won the match to advance to the semifinals of the tournament to crown the first ever heavyweight champion. In another quarterfinal match of the heavyweight title tournament, a great match which saw former WWE and Ring of Honor star ACH do battle with Fight for Flight Gabriel Sky. These two men really took it to each other, and oof, poor Gabriel's chest got all beaten raw from so many chops, and they were chopping each other. At one point, they had a chop fest in the ring, and at that point, it ended with ACH putting Sky in an abdominal stretch. I forgot how this one ended, but Gabriel Sky won the match, defeating ACH to advance to the semifinals of the heavyweight title tournament. And then we had the another quarterfinal match of the tournament, which saw the cold-hearted player Dave D'Amato go one-on-one with Casey Catal, or Casey Kirk. She's married to Brandon Kirk. I can't believe Casey and the Kirks come out to Mariah Carey's Fantasy. You know, I mean, I like Mariah Carey, the musician, and, you know, when that song came out, you know, back then she was hot shit. And yeah, maybe we should get that trending on social media. Hashtag hot shit. Well, of course, everybody has to take one from time to time. D'Amato, he hit the ring first, and he ran down Long Island, and I forgot what other stuff he was saying. Eventually, Casey wanted the match to be no DQ, and without ring announcer David Adams announcing it to the crowd, it turned into that kind of a match. Chairs were brought into play. Looked like, I don't know if they were boards or doors were brought into play. At one point, Casey speared Danny through a big wooden board and set up in the corner. The end came when D'Amato hit powerbomb Casey on a board set up on two chairs. Surprisingly, she kicked out of that, but then Danny hit that powerbomb into a pile driver over the shoulder. Like go for a powerbomb, he gave her a pile driver, and he pinned her to win the match and advance to the semifinals of the tournament. At that moment, they did go to intermission, and then it was time for the main event, which was the 30-person Remarkable Rumble matchup. Entrant number 1 was Ryan Percy. Entrant number 2 was Desmond Cole. Among other participants were Nolo Kitano, Adonis Stone, Smiley, Kano Capuchia, Casey Lennox. Now, it was something I forgot to mention. After the 7-way matchup that Natalia Markova won to open the show, Capuchia attacked Markova from behind, and he was gonna set her up and put her through a bed of chairs that he set up in the ring. But out comes this guy. I didn't recognize him, and I apologize for not knowing his name. He stepped in, and Capucci ended up putting him onto the chairs, and in the meantime, Markova managed to get out of the ring. But then another guy came out, and I apologize for not knowing his name. and as a result, eventually Capuccia skedaddled out of there. But as I mentioned, participants in the Remarkable Rumble: Ryan Percy entered first, Desmond Cole entered second. Among other participants throughout this match, we saw Nolo Kitano, Adonis Stone, Smiley, Conor Capuccia, Casey Lennox, Dr. Cube, Anthony Budney, Tommy Rant. There was this one big guy with long hair and a beard. He eliminated a few people, and then later on, it took everybody that was in the ring to get him out of there, eliminate him, and it looked like he'd gotten injured because he couldn't get up. And thankfully, there were paramedics in the building to check on him, and I don't know if it was his ankle or his knee, but they had to wheel him out of there. And I think most of his friends and family were in attendance because they were really screaming their heads off for the guy when he entered the match, and when the paramedics were helping him, wheeling him out of the building. Everybody applauded, including me, not only because he was getting help, but also the effort he put in. He eliminated, I don't know how many guys in the match. Well, not guys, but, how many people, because we had 2 ladies in there. And eventually, Natalia Markova entered last, and it came down to Markova, Capuccia, Tristan Ty, and Desmond Cole. Markova eventually eliminated Capuccia from the match, but he pulled Markova out of the ring, and both referees, Johnny Q and Mark Dundee, they were trying to pull Markova and Capuccia apart. Desmond had thrown Tristan Ty over the top rope to the floor. The referee missed it. So there's a page out of the 1997 Royal Rumble playbook, and Ty comes back in the ring, spits green mist in Desmond's face, throws him over the top rope. The referees see that. They call for the bell. And as a result, Tristan Ty is now a semifinalist in the tournament to crown the first ever Remarkable Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And ring announcer David Adams, and I forgot to mention, David Adams wound up was a participant in the Rumble, but he didn't even get physical and eliminated himself. But David comes into the ring with the championship belt, and as Ty is taking a good look at it, out comes Gabriel Sky, and they're face-to-face arguing with each other. Then Myron Reed comes out, and the 3 of them are arguing with each other face-to-face as to who's going to be the first ever Remarkable Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And eventually the 3 of them leave the ring, and that's pretty much how the show had ended. Time for some personal notes. It's great to be back at the NYWC Sportatorium for the first time since December. Wow. Mammy or Mommy, spelled M-A-M-E-Y, Mexican taqueria. I apologize, I mispronounced that word. That's a Mexican restaurant right by Babylon train station. They got a good chicken burrito in there. Very great for me. I was so glad to go eat over there. Looks like Remarkable Wrestling has a 2 club, especially during that awesome match between Gabriel Sky and ACH. One memorable quote: "It's in Jersey." Somebody in the crowd, when Danny D'Amato was trying to find something underneath the ring. But it was announced throughout the show that Remarkable Wrestling will be returning on Saturday night, April 23rd, once again from the NYWC Sportatorium, as they present Cream of the Crop. Yeah, I think everybody gets the reference, and, quite a name for this show. And that night, the semifinals and final match will take place to crown Remarkable Wrestling's first ever heavyweight champion. And the semifinalists, in case you've lost track, are Myron Reed, Gabriel Sky, Danny D'Amato, and Tristan Ty. It was not announced as to who's facing who in the semifinal matches, but obviously one of those 4 men will end up the first ever Remarkable Wrestling heavyweight champion. with a pretty good crowd for this event. The only thing that let me down is that it was an 8 o'clock start rather than a 7 or 7:30 start. Kano, Capucha, you're on this. You've definitely done great here. I mean, I know you became a dad last fall, I believe, but this promotion will be something, and hats off to you, man. Hopefully, this will continue to grow, and it'll. I want to see everybody succeed in terms of wrestling, not just promote people who are promoters, wrestlers, and other stuff like that. And speaking of which, I forgot to mention, guys, the wonderful Casey Lennox, who not only was in the 7-way match, but also was in the Remarkable Rumble match. I actually met her before she was in the business, She frequented NYWC shows long ago, first saw her met her in 2011, and Casey Lennox, you can really go in the... Casey Lennox, you can really go in the ring. I mean, you're not just lovely, but you get that all the time from too many guys, I'm sure, but you can really wrestle, and you really did, not only in the 7-way match, but you lasted quite some time in that Remarkable Rumble match, and hopefully this will open the door for you to get booked at other promotions in the Northeast area, and hopefully you'll be back in Remarkable Wrestling. That was definitely something. Okay, so hopefully, like I said, they'll be back. Remarkable Wrestling returns Saturday, April 23rd with Cream of the Crop, and with the semifinals and final match of the heavyweight title tournament. And hopefully I will hopefully get this chat going someday at one of the shows. Remarkable, 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 remarkable. Remarkable Wrestling. They certainly let the wrestling speak.